In the twilight of Earth's second century of unified space exploration, an uncanny hush had fallen over the planet. For decades, humanity had advanced in secret, nurturing technologies that allowed them to traverse the stars while remaining hidden from a mighty and merciless galactic empire. The night sky, once familiar with its constellations, now pulsed with a strange brilliance, a silent herald of something vast and inexorable approaching. It began with an abrupt transmission. Across every communication channel, a single message flashed in stark, unyielding glyphs: tribute or face oblivion. No translator could immediately decode its full meaning, but the threat was unmistakable. It was as if the cosmos had been shaken by a distant, fearsome hand, summoning Earth to its knees. Government leaders, scientists, and ordinary citizens alike felt the ground shift beneath them. Rumors spread like wildfire. This was the beginning of an unprecedented test for the human spirit. In a concealed high-security facility beneath the sprawling urban labyrinth of New Geneva, Dr. Mara Ellison, a brilliant astrophysicist known for her unyielding determination, led a team of experts analyzing the ominous message. The dim glow of advanced computer screens painted long, shifting shadows across the walls as she calmly addressed her anxious colleagues. This isn't merely a threat. It's a command from an empire that spans galaxies. We must decipher every nuance and prepare for what comes next. Her voice, though measured, carried the weight of imminent destiny. The facility hummed with a tense energy as specialists from cryptology, linguistics, and quantum physics gathered. Clad in futuristic attire and armed with devices capable of processing petabytes of data per second, they worked feverishly to crack the coded missive. Outside, the city bristled with hidden defenses, relics of secret preparations made over decades. Earth's leaders had anticipated this day, though few truly comprehended the scale of what was descending upon them. As night deepened, a solitary envoy appeared in the sky, a colossal vessel eclipsing the moon, its surface shimmering with mesmerizing, otherworldly patterns. The craft descended silently, its geometric design both elegant and intimidating. A piercing beam of light projected onto the facility's central dome, momentarily bathing the city in an ethereal glow. Then a resonant, emotionless voice echoed across every channel: "We come for tribute." The chilling proclamation sent shivers through the hearts of those who watched, their minds racing with questions of fate and defiance. In the central command room, alarms pulsed softly as personnel tracked the vessel's descent. "The Empire's flagship is entering our atmosphere," reported Lieutenant Rains, his steely gaze fixed on a holographic display mapping the craft's trajectory. "All units, stand by. Await further orders." His measured tone cut through the charged silence. Yet behind his calm lay an urgency born of both duty and the dawning realization that Earth was facing an adversary unlike any before. Amid the palpable tension, a flicker of determination sparked in every corner of the facility. Humanity, long underestimated by cosmic tyrants, had survived plagues, wars, and cataclysmic changes. This new trial, however, was unlike any previous ordeal, a test of human ingenuity and courage against a force that spanned galaxies. As Dr. Ellison and her team pored over the transmission's data, they began uncovering hidden patterns, subtle inconsistencies, and encrypted symbols that hinted at a vulnerability in the Empire's demand. "This might be our key," she confided softly to her deputy, her voice a blend of awe and resolve. As midnight approached, whispers in the dark corridors of the command center spoke of legends, a time when humanity first encountered the silent watchers among the stars. These ancient accounts, once dismissed as folklore, now carried the weight of forewarning. Dr. Ellison dove deep into the encrypted archives of Earth's long-hidden research. Amid a labyrinth of classified files, she discovered records of previous interstellar phenomena and encounters with enigmatic symbols. One such symbol, a spiral interlocking light with a shadowy counterpart, matched the design etched onto the Imperial ship. "This could be the key to unlocking their true intentions," she murmured, her words barely audible over the constant hum of machinery. Back in the command room, Lieutenant Rains coordinated with reconnaissance teams deploying advanced drones equipped with sensors that captured every detail of the imposing vessel. The live feed revealed intricate patterns on the ship's hull and mysterious energy fluctuations that defied human understanding. "Our instruments detect irregularities in their energy matrix," Rains commented quietly, eyes glued to the shifting holographic images. "Their technology is not only advanced, it's almost alien in its unpredictability." Across the globe, citizens tuned into emergency broadcasts. In hushed tones, people exchanged cautious theories at late-night cafes and community centers. Even as fear permeated the air, a quiet defiance took root, a belief that Earth's resilience might yet turn this threat into an opportunity. An artist in downtown New Geneva sketched bold visions of a future where Earth's light would shine defiantly among the stars, a silent protest against the encroaching darkness. In that fraught moment, as the Imperial vessel loomed and the message's implications sank in, Earth's destiny transformed from a predetermined path into an unwritten epic. Every keystroke in the command center, every measured conversation between scientists and soldiers, resonated with the promise of a future defined by resilience and ingenuity. The Galactic Empire had not come solely to demand tribute, but to challenge a civilization that had thrived in adversity. Humanity was now poised on the edge of history, ready to answer the call of destiny, and to prove that even in the shadow of cosmic tyranny, the human spirit could not be subdued. In the days following the ominous transmission, Earth's atmosphere throbbed with urgency and quiet dread. Across continents, nations, once fractured by centuries of rivalry, found common cause in the face of an unprecedented threat. Deep within New Geneva's high-security command center, Dr. Mara Ellison and her team worked tirelessly, their eyes glued to cascading streams of data and cryptic symbols that pulsed on holographic displays. Every keystroke, every digital scan was a step closer to understanding the Empire's message and perhaps its hidden vulnerability. The command center itself had become a microcosm of determined resolve. Under fluorescent lights that hummed in sync with the rhythmic clatter of keyboards, military strategists, scientists, and engineers collaborated in a race against time. A palpable intensity filled the air as specialists pieced together patterns buried within the alien script. "There's a recurring anomaly here," Dr. Ellison noted, her voice steady yet laced with urgency. "If we can isolate it, we might just unlock a weakness in their communications." Her colleagues exchanged determined glances, each aware that the answer they sought could be the key to stalling an unstoppable force. Outside, the city itself was undergoing a metamorphosis. Military convoys streamed through shadowed streets, heading for covert airfields and fortified coastal bases. Advanced fighter jets, sleek and agile, soared into the twilight like manifestations of human ingenuity and defiance. On the sprawling digital map that dominated one wall of the command center, red markers indicated the movements of mobile units now converging toward potential launch sites. Lieutenant Rains, ever vigilant, monitored these feeds. "Our fleets are poised to intercept any initial moves by the Empire," he reported in a low, resolute tone. "We must hold the line until our countermeasures are ready." As midnight neared, a parallel world stirred beneath the surface. A secret network of renegade scientists and ex-military tacticians, operating from hidden bunkers beneath abandoned industrial complexes. Led by the enigmatic Orion, this underground coalition had long anticipated the Empire's shadow. In hushed, encrypted communications, Orion's terse orders reverberated. "Activate Protocol Sigma at the first sign of escalation. We're about to turn the tide." Though shrouded in mystery, Orion's team had devised a daring digital assault, a Trojan horse algorithm that could momentarily disrupt the Empire's vast communication grid, buying precious time for Earth's defenders. In downtown New Geneva, life carried on with a surreal blend of routine and resolve. Artists painted murals on derelict walls, depicting Earth bathed in cosmic luminescence, a bold statement of resilience against the dark void of imperial tyranny. In small candlelit gatherings at local cafes, citizens discussed whispered theories and shared quietly defiant messages, their conversations imbued with a fierce pride. For them, the Empire's demand was more than a threat. It was a call to awaken a dormant spirit of rebellion that had always simmered beneath the surface of everyday life. At the command center, the breakthrough came unexpectedly. Dr. Ellison's team identified a series of encrypted sequences that hinted at a flaw, a subtle but exploitable gap in the Empire's digital armor. "This algorithm," she explained during a brief, hushed discussion with her deputy, "is our chance. It's like a heartbeat we can disrupt. A well-timed countersignal could throw their entire system into disarray." Her words were met with a mixture of cautious optimism and steely determination. The room fell into a focused silence as engineers set about refining the algorithm, calibrating it to perfection, while the digital clock ticked away the minutes. Meanwhile, outside the fortified walls, Lieutenant Rains coordinated with reconnaissance drones that buzzed like silent insects in the night sky. The live feeds revealed a bizarre interplay of energy patterns along the Empire's flagship, as if it were alive with an alien pulse that defied conventional physics. "Our sensors pick up irregular fluctuations," Rains commented, his eyes scanning the holographic interface. "This vessel isn't just a machine, it's a fortress of advanced technology, unpredictable in its behavior." Despite the complexity of the challenge, his words resonated with a deep-seated confidence that had defined humanity through the ages. As the night deepened into an uneasy calm, the vast machinery of Earth's resistance moved in synchrony. The combined efforts of the clandestine underground network, the unified global command, and the resilient spirit of everyday citizens converged into a single formidable force. Every individual, from a battle-hardened general to a quiet artist sketching defiant visions on crumbling walls, contributed to a larger narrative, a story of survival, innovation, and a will to triumph over cosmic tyranny. In the final moments before dawn, as preparations reached fever pitch, Earth's defenders braced for the inevitable confrontation. The Empire's demand for tribute had ignited a spark that united humanity in a common purpose, a purpose that was about to be tested in the crucible of interstellar conflict. The gathering storm was not merely a prelude to war. It was the forging of a new legacy, a testament to the unyielding strength of a civilization that refused to be subdued by forces from beyond the stars. As the first tendrils of dawn stained the horizon with muted blues and grays, a select strike team emerged from the labyrinthine depths of an underground transit hub. Cloaked in adaptive stealth gear, engineered for low visibility, they moved silently toward the colossal Imperial vessel now anchored above Earth's atmosphere. This mission, unplanned yet essential, aimed to exploit the tiny vulnerability Dr. Ellison's team had painstakingly isolated. Their objective was not mere sabotage. It was to send a message that humanity would not capitulate without a fight. Inside a rugged armored transport, Lieutenant Rains reviewed the final mission briefing on a flickering holoscreen. His eyes, hardened by years of duty, flickered with a determined light. "Our target is the central energy conduit. Disrupt that, and we can delay their communication grid long enough for our algorithm to take effect," he stated in a low voice, the weight of responsibility echoing in his words. Beside him, Nova, a reserved yet ingenious cyber tactician with an uncanny ability to manipulate digital fortresses, nodded, her gaze fixed on schematics of the vessel's inner workings. "Once inside, we follow the blueprints to the control core. Timing will be critical," she murmured, the quiet intensity in her tone hinting at the high stakes of their mission. Their transport pierced through swirling atmospheric layers and docked seamlessly with a recess carved into the ship's underbelly. A narrow hatch slid open with near-silent precision, revealing a dark, pulsating corridor lined with enigmatic symbols and alien circuitry. The team stepped into an environment that felt both otherworldly and ominously alive, as if the vessel itself were a sentient beast guarding ancient secrets. Each step echoed softly against the metallic walls, amplifying their heartbeat in the silence. As they advanced deeper, the corridor split into a maze of twisting passageways. Nova's nimble fingers danced across her portable device, mapping the labyrinth with rapid digital sweeps. "The conduit is on the left corridor, 2 nodes ahead," she whispered through a secure comm link, her voice barely audible over the hum of alien machinery. Lieutenant Rains acknowledged with a curt nod, leading the team as they maneuvered around patrol drones whose sensors scanned the area in slow, methodical arcs. The oppressive atmosphere was heavy with anticipation, every shadow and flicker of light laden with a promise of danger. Their progress was suddenly interrupted by a soft clatter echoing from an adjacent passage. The team instinctively crouched behind a row of cylindrical containment units emitting a faint, eerie glow. Through the visor of his helmet, Rains observed a solitary alien sentinel patrolling slowly, its body a blend of translucent alloys and pulsating energy. A brief, tense silence enveloped them as they weighed the risk of confrontation. "Stay low and silent," Rains hissed, his voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. Nova's eyes, visible through the semi-transparent display, were fixed on the creature as she recalibrated their route to avoid detection. Minutes later, when the Sentinel's path veered away, the team resumed their advance. The corridor soon opened into a vast chamber, the control core of the ship. Towering conduits of pulsing energy crisscrossed overhead, illuminating holographic maps of stellar grids and cryptic codes that defied conventional understanding. At the center, embedded within an intricate matrix of circuitry, lay the primary energy conduit, a monolithic structure that throbbed with raw, otherworldly power. Its design was alien yet oddly symmetrical, evoking both awe and a sense of impending calamity. Nova moved to interface with the conduit, her portable device linking seamlessly with the vessel's control network. "I'm establishing a back door," she whispered, her fingers dancing over virtual keys as streams of alien code cascaded across her visor. The conduit responded in bursts of fluctuating energy, its rhythmic pulsing synchronizing with the hum of distant machinery. Meanwhile, Rains and his team set up perimeter sensors to monitor for any signs of alarm. Their breaths came in shallow, measured rhythms as they awaited the outcome of Nova's risky digital incursion. Seconds stretched into what felt like an eternity. Then, with a sudden surge, Nova's voice crackled through the comm. "I've got it! Sending the disruption signal now." In that critical moment, the conduit shuddered violently, its luminous patterns fracturing like shattered glass. The chamber trembled, and a series of alarm-like pulses reverberated along the ship's corridors, though the enemy's response remained maddeningly delayed. Outside the control core, technicians in the command center on Earth watched with bated breath as telemetry confirmed a temporary blackout across vital Imperial communication nodes. "Hold your positions," Rains ordered, his tone a blend of cautious optimism and steely resolve. The team braced for potential countermeasures as the vessel's internal systems scrambled to restore equilibrium. The disruption had created a window, a fleeting opportunity to gather further intelligence on the Empire's technology and perhaps exploit additional vulnerabilities. In the dim light of the control core, amidst the alien architecture and echoing silence, humanity's audacity was etched into every action. They had dared to challenge an empire, even if just for a moment. In that fragile interlude, the team felt the full weight of their mission, a beacon of defiance against the cosmic tyranny that loomed over Earth. Their success was not assured, but every heartbeat resonated with the conviction that humanity's ingenuity could overcome even the most insurmountable odds. As the conduit's fractured pulses faded into darkness, a new chapter in this epic struggle was silently written in the depths of the Imperial Leviathan. The disruption sent shockwaves through the Imperial vessel, triggering alarms and an immediate scramble among its alien crew. Deep within the labyrinthine corridors, automated lights pulsed red as emergency protocols activated. In a vast command chamber filled with holographic projections of stellar maps and encrypted directives, an imposing figure, a high-ranking Imperial officer clad in sleek, iridescent armor, stood before a central console. His eyes, glimmering with cold determination, scanned the chaotic data streaming in. "Contain the breach. Restore the grid," he commanded, in clipped tones that echoed off the metallic walls. His voice, modulated to carry authority, left no room for error. On board, mechanical drones and cybernetic enforcers raced through corridors to seal off compromised sections. A young lieutenant, her face half hidden behind a translucent visor, reported in a staccato whisper to her superior, "Sir, the energy conduits are failing sector by sector. Our systems are unstable." The officer's jaw tightened as he assessed the situation. "Initiate countermeasures. I want repairs expedited and a full diagnostic on that subsystem," he ordered, his words a mix of calculated fury and grim resolve. Somewhere in the background, the hum of alien machinery intermingled with the urgent beeps of failing sensors, crafting a dissonant symphony of impending disaster. Back on Earth, the command center was abuzz with urgent communications. Dr. Mara Ellison and her team monitored the vessel's faltering systems through live feeds. The digital maps, once pristine and unyielding, now revealed erratic energy spikes and collapsing nodes. "The disruption has not only delayed their communications but appears to have triggered a cascade failure," Dr. Ellison explained, her voice steady despite the tension gripping the room. Lieutenant Rains, standing beside a massive projection of the Imperial flagship, interjected, "Their internal repair protocols are lagging. We might have a narrow window to learn more about their tech, and perhaps leverage it." His tone carried the confident defiance that had come to define Earth's response. Within the vessel's core, the sabotage's effects deepened. Nova's carefully executed algorithm had introduced a virus into the network, a digital contagion that scrambled encryption keys and severed vital links between systems. In a secluded alcove of the command chamber, the high-ranking officer studied a series of cascading failures. "Our defenses? They're faltering. Identify the source immediately," he barked into his communication device. His assistant, a gaunt creature with luminous eyes and fluid, almost organic armor, hesitated before replying. "The anomaly originated from an external code injection. It's unlike any attack we've recorded." A murmur of unease spread among the gathered officers, their normally seamless coordination disrupted by the unprecedented incursion. As the Imperial vessel stuttered in its orbit, a secondary fleet, sleek, angular ships bristling with advanced weaponry, appeared on the periphery. They were the Empire's rapid response units, dispatched to secure the flagship and neutralize the vulnerability. Their arrival was heralded by a surge of energy along the vessel's outer hull, where repaired drones now scrambled to seal breaches and re-establish control over critical systems. Amid this controlled chaos, the Imperial officer's voice rang out once more. "Prepare for a counteroffensive. Engage all available assets to contain this insurrection." His directive carried the weight of a civilization accustomed to dominance, yet the disruption had sown seeds of uncertainty among his ranks. In the tense quiet of Earth's command center, the collective heartbeat of humanity quickened. While the Empire's internal turmoil was unfolding, analysts pieced together data that could offer invaluable insights into their technological vulnerabilities. This incident could be the key to understanding the Empire's command architecture, one analyst noted, her eyes wide with cautious optimism. The hope was that, with this newfound knowledge, Earth could develop countermeasures capable of thwarting any further Imperial advances. In the dim glow of flickering screens and the soft murmur of determined voices, a plan began to form, a plan that would see Earth not merely as a subject, but as a challenger capable of bending cosmic tyranny to its will. On board the flagship, the virus's impact intensified. Vital systems began to flicker in and out of control, and the once mighty vessel now resembled a wounded beast struggling to maintain its predatory grace. A sense of desperation began to creep into the alien ranks. "We must isolate the infected modules," the high-ranking officer ordered, his voice now tinged with urgency. In the background, a subordinate's anxious reply resonated. "The repairs are slower than expected. Our entire network is at risk." Despite these setbacks, the Empire's response remained methodical, a testament to their experience in quelling rebellions, even if this particular challenge was proving uniquely elusive. Within this maelstrom of chaos, Earth's defenders sensed an opportunity. The Empire's fury had inadvertently exposed fractures in its seemingly impregnable facade. The sabotage, though temporary in its immediate effects, was reshaping the balance of power. As Dr. Ellison's team continued to gather crucial intelligence, the resolute determination of humanity shone through the gloom. In every measured keystroke and every whispered command, Earth's message was clear. They would not yield to cosmic tyranny. The battle had only just begun, and the Empire's fury would soon meet the unyielding will of a civilization that had learned, against all odds, to fight for its freedom. In the aftermath of the catastrophic breach, Earth's command center pulsed with a renewed urgency. The data streaming from the Imperial vessel was a chaotic symphony of collapsing systems and erratic energy surges. Every monitor, every sensor bore witness to the Empire's mounting internal strife. Dr. Mara Ellison stood before a colossal digital mosaic, its intricate patterns now distorted by cascading failures. "We have a chance," she declared softly to her team, her voice resolute despite the weight of uncertainty. "This disruption isn't just a setback, it's an opening. We must harness it to ignite a global response." Across the globe, clandestine networks that had long remained in the shadows began to stir. In a secure underground enclave, far from prying eyes and omnipresent surveillance, the rebel coalition known simply as the Vanguard gathered. Illuminated by the cold glow of holographic projections, seasoned tacticians and renegade scientists pored over intercepted transmissions and decrypted Imperial codes. At the heart of the gathering, a grizzled veteran known as Commander Rook leaned forward, his eyes scanning lines of data. "This is our window," he stated in a low, gravelly tone. "We've seen vulnerabilities before. This breach is proof that the Empire is not invincible. Tonight we plan our next move." Within the high-security walls of New Geneva's command center, Lieutenant Rains coordinated with Allied units stationed around the globe. "Our strike team inside the vessel has confirmed that the back door remains open," he reported calmly over the secure channel. "We can tap into their system remotely to broadcast a message of defiance. We're turning their own chaos into our weapon." Dr. Ellison nodded in agreement, her mind already racing through potential countermeasures. "Every crippled node, every faltering circuit speaks to us. The Empire's arrogance has left cracks in its armor. Our engineers are already developing a counter-protocol to exploit these breaches further." The transmission of Earth's message was a carefully crafted symphony of technology and defiance. In a clandestine broadcast orchestrated by cyber operatives, coded messages intermingled with images of historical triumphs and futuristic hope. The visuals displayed a planet united, a planet unbowed by cosmic tyranny. A terse voiceover declared, "We are Earth. We do not submit. Today, we reclaim our destiny." The message cascaded across every available frequency, infiltrating both terrestrial networks and the fragile channels within the Imperial vessel. Far above Earth's atmosphere, the Imperial systems registered the interference like a rogue spark in a carefully maintained circuit. Inside the vessel, the breach continued to propagate. Automated drones scrambled to restore order while high-ranking officers barked orders in clipped, metallic tones. Amid this chaos, a secondary unit of Earth's operatives, hidden in the recesses of the ship, initiated a daring maneuver. They made contact with Nova, the cyber tactician who had earlier engineered the virus, and relayed critical information back to the command center. "Nova, this is Echo 6. We found a central nexus in the energy matrix. It appears to be a command node for the entire vessel," whispered the operative, his tone equal parts excitement and trepidation. Nova's voice crackled in response. "Copy that, Echo 6. I'm linking your feed with our analysis. If we can seize control of that node, we might reverse their entire network." Back in the underground enclave, the rebel coalition debated their next course of action. "We've been waiting for a sign," murmured a young strategist, her eyes reflecting both fear and fervor. "This is it. The Empire's own instability is our call to arms." Commander Rook's voice cut through the murmurs. "We must mobilize ourselves immediately. Each of you holds a piece of the resistance. Our synchronized attacks will not only disrupt their command, but will send a message to every corner of the galaxy. Earth will no longer be subjugated." His words, filled with a grim determination, resonated deeply with everyone present. As the Empire's internal networks continued to falter, the once mighty vessel shuddered under the strain of its own systems. A pulse of energy, once steady and fearsome, now flickered like a dying star. In that moment, the interconnected web of Earth's defiance, transmitted through hacked satellites, repurposed drones, and secure channels, bridged the gap between rebellion and revolution. Across continents, citizens gathered around flickering screens, kept their eyes wide with disbelief and hope. In the quiet moments of dawn, the overwhelming silence was punctuated by the sound of determined voices, whispers that gradually swelled into a roar. Deep within the command center, Dr. Ellison's fingers danced across control panels as she fine-tuned the counter protocol. "Initiate Phase 2, she ordered, her voice steady even as uncertainty loomed. The team responded in unison, launching a series of coordinated cyber operations aimed at crippling the remaining segments of the Imperial network. In tandem, Lieutenant Rains oversaw the deployment of airborne recon units to monitor the response of the enemy fleet. The tension was palpable. Each second carried the promise of either a catastrophic backlash or the dawn of a new era. In the midst of this high-stakes digital warfare, the Empire's response was faltering. Their once pristine command structure was now riddled with errors and delays, as loyalists struggled to contain the unraveling chaos. It was in this charged atmosphere that Earth's message of defiance grew louder, reaching ears that had long believed themselves secure in their dominance. The Empire's fury had given birth to a rebellion, a silent, unstoppable uprising that united every corner of Earth. And as the skies above New Geneva darkened with the silhouettes of patrol crafts and the distant hum of Imperial engines, a singular truth emerged. When tyranny faces unyielding resistance, even the mightiest of empires can be shaken to its core. Every heartbeat, every keystroke, affirmed the resolve of a planet that had finally awakened. The rebellion was not a fleeting moment. It was the beginning of a revolution that would redefine the balance of power in the galaxy. Under the muted glow of malfunctioning alien circuitry, the rebel strike team advanced along a corridor pulsing with residual energy from the earlier disruption. Every step was measured, every breath held as if the corridor itself were a living sentinel. Lieutenant Rains led the unit, his eyes scanning for any sign of movement, while Nova's portable console flickered with intercepted Imperial signals. The corridor was a crucible of tension, a meeting point between desperation and defiant hope. As the team neared the Nexus chamber, the ambient hum of alien technology shifted to a higher pitch. The passageway twisted and narrowed, guarding the heart of the vessel like an ancient, unyielding sentinel. There, suspended in the center of a vast, echoing hall, the Nexus, a massive, intricate sphere of interwoven energy strands, pulsed steadily. Its rhythmic glow cast eerie reflections on the walls, revealing cryptic glyphs etched in luminous patterns. "Steady," Rains murmured, his voice low yet resolute. Nova replied, "This is the heart of their power. We've got one shot to seize it." Splitting into two groups, the operatives began their cautious approach. One team secured the perimeter, while the other pressed forward into the cavernous chamber. The room's atmosphere vibrated with an electric tension as streams of light danced along the Nexus, which appeared almost sentient in its undulating motions. Within this chamber, every surface shimmered with alien inscriptions, hinting at secrets buried deep within the Empire's technology. Nova immediately set up her interface. "I need a clear signal from the central node," she instructed, her fingers flying over her console. "Once I'm in, I can override their power grid and redirect the surge to disable their command channels." Her voice resonated through the comlink, punctuated by the sound of rapid keystrokes and digital beeps. The Nexus responded with bursts of fluctuating energy, as if challenging her intrusion. Suddenly, the silence was shattered by the sound of automated defense turrets activating from concealed recesses along the chamber's edge. Their scanning beams cut across the room like deadly searchlights, and for a heartbeat, time seemed to freeze. "Nova, can you disable them?" Rains whispered urgently. Nova's tone was resolute as she tapped into her digital arsenal. "I'm deploying a decoy protocol. Stand by." Her words were accompanied by a flurry of commands as alien security systems began to stutter, their beams flickering and then dimming under the influence of her code. With the immediate threat neutralized, Rains and his team advanced toward the Nexus. The chamber vibrated with raw energy. Every pulse of light along the intricate conduits echoed like the heartbeat of a colossal machine. "Area secure," came a brief report from an operative stationed near a crystalline column, his voice edged with cautious optimism. In the center of the room, the Nexus shone with an almost hypnotic intensity. Nova's interface established a tenuous link with the control nodes embedded within the swirling mass of energy. "I'm in," she announced softly, eyes fixed on cascading lines of alien code. "The system is adaptive. It's like navigating a labyrinth of mirrors. I need to override 3 firewalls to gain full control." As she worked, the Nexus pulsed erratically, its rhythm disturbed by her invasive commands. In the background, distant alarms began to wail, a sign that the Empire's countermeasures were mobilizing. "Time is short," Lieutenant Rains cautioned, his gaze shifting between the Nexus and the corridor leading out of the chamber. "Nova, push through. We need that blueprint for their command structure." The tension in the room was palpable as Nova's fingers danced over the console. The digital barrier fought back, its defensive codes reconfiguring in real time, but Nova's determination was unyielding. With a final decisive keystroke, she broke through. "I've got it," she exclaimed, her voice a mixture of relief and triumph, sending the surge now. A blinding flash erupted from the Nexus, unleashing a torrent of energy that rippled across the chamber. The control nodes convulsed as Nova's countermeasure cascaded throughout the vessel's network. For a suspended moment, silence reigned, a heartbeat of both hope and dread, before the room was engulfed in a cascade of electronic disarray. Across the Imperial vessel, communication channels faltered, and the frantic shouts of Imperial officers dissolved into chaos. Back in Earth's command center, Dr. Ellison's eyes widened as she monitored the unfolding events. "The tide is turning," she whispered, a spark of cautious optimism igniting within her. Lieutenant Rains' steady voice came through the comm. "Hold your positions. We've turned their own technology against them." Outside the Nexus chamber, the sound of battle intensified. An elite squad of Imperial enforcers, alerted by the surge, advanced rapidly through the corridors. Their armor glistened under erratic lighting as plasma discharges ricocheted off ancient walls. A fierce skirmish erupted near the chamber's entrance. Blaster fire and the clang of energy shields filled the air. "Cover our retreat," Rains ordered as his team skillfully repelled the assault, their movements a precise blend of experience and desperation. Inside the Nexus chamber, as Nova maintained her tenuous link, streams of data began to flow rapidly across her display, a veritable roadmap to the Empire's critical systems. "I can now reconfigure the energy matrix," she announced, her voice resolute despite the distant echoes of conflict. "This is the blueprint we need to cripple their entire command hierarchy." Every piece of data was a step toward turning the Empire's dominance into its undoing. In that charged moment, amidst the pulsating glow of the Nexus and the chaos of battle, Earth's defiance crystallized. The Nexus gambit was no longer a desperate maneuver. It had become the fulcrum upon which the future of the rebellion would pivot. The Empire's hold was faltering, and with the information streaming from the Nexus, Earth's operatives could now launch a coordinated assault across the cosmic network of tyranny. As the energy surge began to stabilize and the chamber's glow softened into a steady cadence, Rains signaled the team to regroup. The mission had been a resounding success, but the battle was far from over. The Empire's response would be swift and brutal, yet within that brilliant flash of defiance lay the seeds of a revolution. With the Nexus under their control, Earth had turned the Empire's arrogance into its greatest weakness, a beacon of hope for a civilization determined to reclaim its destiny in the stars. As the Empire's faltering signals rippled through the void, Earth's unified forces readied themselves for a decisive strike, a calculated siege designed to shatter the last vestiges of cosmic tyranny. In a sprawling command center beneath the remnants of New Geneva's skyline, a palpable electricity surged through every corridor. Dr. Mara Ellison, her face illuminated by shifting holographic displays, coordinated the final phase of Earth's counteroffensive. Screens showcased the chaotic constellation of Imperial vessels, each flickering with signs of system collapse after the Nexus gambit. "Now is our moment," she intoned, voice resolute. "We strike before they can regroup." Across the globe, hardened fleets of advanced warships and stealth bombers lifted into the night sky like stars reborn. In underground launch bays and repurposed spaceports, military units mobilized with swift precision. Lieutenant Rains, his voice low yet commanding over secure channels, rallied his squadron of elite pilots. "Maintain formation. Hold steady. Every second counts." His words were transmitted to fighters soaring above turbulent clouds, each pilot understanding that the mission was not just a tactical maneuver, but a turning point for all of humanity. Inside the Imperial flagship, its once pristine corridors now chaotic with alarms and erratic energy pulses, a desperate scramble ensued. Alien officers barked orders into communication arrays as automated repair drones whirred frantically to stabilize failing conduits. In one cavernous hall, a mid-ranking officer, his translucent armor flickering with red alerts, struggled to reestablish the command network. "Initiate Protocol Epsilon," he ordered, the sound of his voice lost amidst the cacophony of collapsing systems. But the virus, unleashed by Nova's brilliance, continued to reverberate, leaving the vessel's core teetering on the brink of collapse. Back on Earth, the battle lines were drawn with precision. A coalition of cyber operatives, drone specialists, and battle-hardened infantry assembled in high-tech mobile command pods. Commander Rook's terse broadcast echoed through secure frequencies. "Our coordinated assault begins now. Target their propulsion matrices and sever all backup channels. We turn their strength into our weakness." In a series of rapid transmissions, tactical coordinates were relayed to deep space units positioned strategically in the orbital shadows above Earth. The first salvo was launched as stealth bombers streaked through the darkness, their engines emitting a soft, defiant hum. Explosions of shimmering plasma erupted across enemy vessels, and the reverberations of distant impacts melded with the steady thrum of Earth's resistance. A fighter pilot, his visor reflecting the chaotic ballet of battle, murmured through his comlink, "For Earth, for freedom." His voice, though brief, carried a profound determination that resonated with every soul tuned into the conflict. Overhead, in the vacuum of space, the battle unfolded like a cosmic chess match. Earth's warships, sleek and resilient, darted among the Imperial fleet with a dancer's agility. Every maneuver was calculated, every shot a testament to human ingenuity. As drones swarmed the crippled flagship, deploying electromagnetic pulses and laser interceptors, Dr. Ellison's team relayed real-time updates from the Nexus feed. "We've destabilized their primary power core," she announced, eyes scanning lines of cascading data. "Prepare for secondary breaches across the network." The command center buzzed with focused activity, every operative aware that this was the culmination of decades of hidden preparations and silent defiance. Inside the chaos, small pockets of resistance emerged within the flagship. A contingent of Earth's infiltrators, who had penetrated deep into the vessel during the earlier assault, now worked to dismantle remaining control nodes. Nova's earlier breach provided them with critical schematics, and amid the echoing alarms and fractured alien dialogue, they moved swiftly. "Override complete," whispered one operative as he tapped a portable terminal, his words barely audible above the clamor of the collapsing system. The defect spread like wildfire, converting enemy firepower into disjointed sparks of useless energy. Every moment was a battle against time. As Earth's forces pressed their advantage, the Imperial response became increasingly desperate. Automated turrets on distant vessels began to sputter and fall silent, once cohesive fleets scattered into disarray. Even as the Empire scrambled to deploy reinforcements, the overwhelming momentum of the human counteroffensive could not be halted. Amid the chaos, a silent resolve emerged, a shared understanding that every sacrifice, every calculated risk, was propelling humanity towards a future of self-determination. In one final, dramatic exchange, Lieutenant Rains, watching the devastation unfold on a high-resolution tactical display, issued a terse command. "This is the tipping point. Seal the perimeter and push forward. Today, we reclaim our destiny." His command, transmitted over secure channels, stirred every soul in the command center, igniting a unified roar of defiance that echoed far beyond the battle space. As the Imperial flagship systems finally succumbed to cascading failures and the remaining vessels scattered into the abyss of space, Earth's forces began consolidating their gains. The siege had been more than a military engagement. It was the manifestation of a once-hidden spirit, now unleashed in a burst of daring ingenuity and unyielding will. In the midst of cosmic turmoil, humanity's bold stand against a vast and ruthless empire had carved a path to hope, lighting a beacon that promised a future where Earth would no longer cower in the shadow of tyranny, but rise as a sovereign force among the stars. In the fading echoes of cosmic warfare, the final confrontation reached its zenith. Earth's forces, united in purpose and fortified by ingenuity, pressed forward with measured determination. The once mighty Imperial flagship, now crippled and trembling in its orbit, had become a symbol of a tyranny unraveling at its seams. Inside the vessel's dim corridors, where alien glyphs still glowed faintly from damaged conduits, teams of operatives moved with silent precision. Every step they took resonated with the weight of history as they sealed off critical nodes, ensuring that no remnants of the old order could ignite renewed chaos. In a secured mobile command center on Earth, Dr. Mara Ellison and Lieutenant Rains watched live feeds of the final assault. Data cascaded across holographic displays, a tapestry of collapsing energy fields and system failures. "This is it," Dr. Ellison murmured, her eyes reflecting both relief and resolve. "The Empire's network is crumbling. We have turned their own weapon against them." Across secure channels, brief acknowledgments confirmed that every operable segment of the vessel was now under Earth's control. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, hope shone through the digital static of war. Amid the chaos, Nova's voice cut through with unwavering clarity. "We've secured the Central Command Nexus. All remaining defenses are offline." Her words, spoken in a quiet triumph, signaled the culmination of countless hours of tireless coding, daring infiltration, and strategic brilliance. As Earth's cyber operatives began the methodical extraction of encrypted Imperial data, the once feared vessel's remaining power cores began to flicker like dying embers. Automated turrets that had once roamed its halls fell silent, and the frantic red lights of emergency panels gave way to a tentative calm. Outside the damaged flagship, Earth's fleets continued their synchronized assault. Sleek warships and agile fighter jets moved in perfect formation, their illuminated insignias a testament to humanity's fierce defiance. In the void of space, explosions of plasma and energy cascaded across the dark canvas of the cosmos, each burst marking the final disintegration of the Empire's stranglehold. A lone pilot, his voice a hushed whisper over the comm, breathed, "For freedom, for Earth." His words mingled with the distant sound of collapsing structures and the steady hum of repurposed technology, a symphony of revolution echoing through the stars. Inside the vessel, a cadre of operatives led by Lieutenant Rains now stood before the central data core, a colossal, pulsating orb encased in shattered alien circuitry. This core, once the heart of the Empire's control, now radiated an eerie, defiant glow. One of the team members, an operative known only as Sable, carefully interfaced with the core using a compact, modified device. "Uploading our override protocol," Sable announced softly. As streams of Earth's code flooded the orb, the chaotic pulses synchronized with the rebel frequencies, merging into a unified signal that spread throughout the entire vessel. In that charged moment, the last vestiges of Imperial control were overwritten by humanity's unyielding will. Back on Earth, citizens watched the unfolding events with bated breath. In urban centers and remote outposts alike, screens displayed live transmissions of the flagship's descent, a controlled re-entry that signified a new beginning rather than total destruction. Dr. Ellison addressed the nation in a broadcast that reverberated with historic significance. Today, we have not only defended our planet, but we have reclaimed our destiny among the stars. The Galactic Empire's demand for tribute has been met not with submission, but with defiance. A defiance that heralds the dawn of a new era for Earth. Her words were met with an outpouring of hope, as communities joined in celebration of a victory born of unity, innovation, and a refusal to be intimidated by forces beyond their control. In the quiet aftermath, as debris of shattered Imperial technology drifted silently in space, Earth's engineers and scientists began the painstaking process of integrating recovered alien systems with human advancements. The captured flagship, now a beacon of possibility, was destined to serve as both a memorial to those who had fought and a foundation upon which a new interstellar alliance could be built. The melding of cultures once thought impossible now promised a future where knowledge and cooperation transcended the boundaries of conflict. As the sun rose over a liberated Earth, its rays bathed cities in a golden light that symbolized renewal and promise. The battle had ended, but its impact would echo through generations, a reminder that even when faced with cosmic tyranny, the indomitable spirit of humanity could rise, adapt, and transform despair into hope. In that moment of tranquil victory, every citizen, every soldier, and every dreamer felt the pulse of a planet reborn. The ascendant horizon was not merely a destination. It was the beginning of a journey into a future where freedom, innovation, and unity lit the path to the stars.